Hey everybody, welcome to Carmela's Rasslin Radio Relived. I'm here with my bestie Jeannie. How
Hey.
you doing, sweetheart?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We have a really, really good show today. We have a
I'm
really
so
good
excited.
guest.
I'm so
Yes.
excited.
It's funny because we talk about independence so much, and Jeannie, you're like the independent queen. But we have a young lady on today who is part of the Superkrazee independent promotion that we've been talking about so much. And Jeannie, this is your forte, so I'm going to let you take it from here. But I'll jump in, with questions and everything. But we
Right.
want to talk a lot about this. But before we do, I just wanted to update a little bit. Um, WWE started on NXT this past Monday. They had Raw on NXT. And, a lot of people complained about AEW having so many commercials on Max. WWE had so many commercials. It was unbelievable. 3 hours, and all they did was put on four matches. Okay. So there
I
was a ton of commercials.
haven't watched it yet just because I'm not interested. But
Yeah, it wasn't the best. It really wasn't. It wasn't. And Roman Reigns won the tribal chief thing, so that's
yeah.
that.
The
Also,
highlight that I did see was Hogan getting booed throughout the entire entrance, which I thought was phenomenal.
well,
I
see,
was
this
like,
is what I
yes.
don't like. Okay, Hogan got booed, and he should have been booed. Okay, and I don't think it was predominantly because of his political views. All right, he sides with Trump, which is fine. I don't want to make this political, but the thing is that he has said so many racial slurs
Yeah.
over the years. He has made it very blatant and obvious, uh, you know, how he feels
Yeah.
about being a hypocrite and in plain English a dick. Okay,
Yeah.
so I hate Hulk Hogan. I always did. I
Same.
met Hulk Hogan the very first time when he was dating his ex-wife Linda, um, and he was an ass then, and he's an ass now. And all he's got to do is he's got a lot of nasty things to say.
Yeah.
And now the WWE wants to take that and they want to turn him into a heel because they want people to boo him now, because he's got this quote unquote real American beer or whatever. And I think that's wrong. I think they are promoting somebody who is a racist, and that's just how I feel. And I think that that's wrong, and I think that he's an animal, and I don't like him. And I hope you hear this, Hulk Hogan, because I don't like you, not because of your political affiliation, but because you're just a
You're a
mean,
horrible
nasty
human
person.
being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
nasty person,
Yep.
and end of story. So aside from all that, AEW was great. Okay, my boy Will Ospreay, he wrestled. It was so funny. I had to go to the bathroom, and it was so funny because it's like, okay, it's 2 minutes to eight, 2 minutes to eight. I'm like, all right, he won't be on. I'll just run in real quick. I'll go to the bathroom, and it won't take long. Whatever. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear da 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 da. Of course, he's the first one that comes out. Okay, and I'm like, damn it, I can't believe I missed that. And, so of course I had to come back out. I had to rerun it, and he's just so damn cool. I love him. I know everybody thinks I'm nuts, but I love him. End of story.
Yeah, and thanks for the video you sent me.
Oh my
The
God, did you
bloody
like
video.
that?
No, no.
Oh, but it was a good one. You got to admit it was a good one. Okay. I sent Jeannie the video of Will Ospreay bleeding his face off, but
Yeah.
still, saying all this cool stuff and saying that he's going to get back in there and he's going to do it, and then he got back in there again, he bled again, and oh my God, and I like the way he says in the immortal words of Tony Khan. It's funny because it's like let's effing do this, but he says let's effing do this, lad. And I love that. I just think it's so cool. Anyway, I'm trying to get Will Ospreay to know that I am constantly talking about him. I love him. I love you. Okay, not in a bad way because I'm an old lady, but I love him because he is completely and totally talented, and I just do. I just love him. Anyway, we have an incredible show today, and that
Yes.
show warrants more time than all the updates. So we're going to do that. And let's bring on Miss Denise from Superkrazee. I'm so excited to talk to this young lady. She's a real
I
dream.
love her.
Okay,
I
here
just
she
love her.
goes.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
how you
Hi.
doing?
Yay.
I'm good.
So
How are
good to
you
have you
guys?
here. So
Thank you.
good to
Thank you for
have you
having
here.
me.
Long
Thank
time
you.
Um,
no see.
Yes, I know, right? It's been such a long
yeah,
time.
yeah, less than 24 hours,
Less
right?
than 24 hours.
Less than
Yes.
24 hours. She had a show
Yes.
last night, Superkrazee, and it was off the charts.
Yeah, it
It
was a great
was
show last night.
packed.
Yeah.
Packed. We had to get
We need
more
to go get chairs.
chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Wow.
thank you to
More,
everybody that came out and continues to support us.
and it was a great, great show from
Thank
top to
you.
bottom. It really was. It's a phenomenal. If you're in, the area, Gloucester City, West Stepford,
Hmm.
Westville, Philly, even, come. It really is a phenomenal promotion. It
Thank you
really
very
is.
much. Yeah,
Class act, hard workers. These guys work their butts
they
off.
do. They're so
They really
creative
do.
and they're so
They are.
passionate about what they do. So we're
Yes.
a lucky group here.
Yes, yes, very, very. And it shows. It really does. And the
Thank you.
fans, a lot of the regular fans, which I'm going to include myself in that, I mean, they're there every month,
Hmm.
and some of them are a little crazy.
Just a
you
tad.
know, just a little, but that's okay. And
Yeah.
it really is it's always a hot crowd, and it really is a good promotion. I can't speak more highly of it. It
Thank
really
you so
is. You
much.
and
We really
Darren do
appreciate
such a
that.
great job. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's funny. I'm going to say this part because Jeannie, and in all fairness, Jeannie has been pushing the hell out of your organization for many, many, many months while we've
Yes.
been on the air. And we call Jeannie the indie queen, okay? Because
Yeah,
she goes to
she
all the
is. She
independents. Yeah.
is. She knows the ins
And
and outs.
yeah, and she keeps saying to me, "You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go." So I'm like, all right." So I'm gonna go. Okay, I've been wanting to go, and I've been wanting to talk to you and Darrin. I've been wanting to, but so many things come up, and
Yeah.
most of our shows are filmed or recorded, I should say, on
Mhm.
Friday night.
Right.
So I finally got myself together, and I went. And I got to be honest with you, I have to tell you, I was beyond impressed. Okay.
Thank you.
Again, I have 60 years behind me in professional
Hmm.
wrestling.
Hmm.
Okay. And I was beyond impressed. And I have to be honest with you, doing an independent show, you kind of have a whole bunch of things on your back already. You
Yeah.
got a lot against you to begin with
Hmm.
because you're doing an independent show. You're up against so much crap in this wrestling world.
Hmm.
But I got to tell you, the show was unbelievable. The people who wrestled put their life, heart, and soul. You could see the sweat getting put into
Yeah.
it, and they were very kind. The people who we stuck around after the matches, and we met them, a lot of the guys, and they were so kind. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to just repeat this part of the story real quick. Devious Cass um, was ragging me from the ring. I don't know why me, but it was
Oh
just,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah. He
It was
was
so
doing he was
funny.
yeah, he was saying all kinds of crap to me from the ring, and it's funny because I'm also from North Philadelphia, and
Hmm.
he was saying you could never be from North Philadelphia, stuff like that. And then finally at the end, I said to Jeannie, I said, I'm going to
Well,
go
he called
talk
you
to
an
him.
old lady too.
He did. He called me an old lady. I
Oh
want him
man.
fired for that, by the way. I want him fired. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But it's
That's why
funny,
his
but he
name is
called me an old
Devious.
lady. Yep. And he said to me, he said, you couldn't be from North Philly looking like that. And I said to him, whoa. So anyway, at the end, I said to Jeannie, I'm going to go talk to him. So I went up, and I swear to God, Denise, as soon as he saw me, he was like, oh my God. He looked at me and he's like, I'm so sorry. He goes, that was just me messing around. And we got along great. I mean, we really did.
Yeah.
I spoke to him, and he's a sweet, sweet, sweet boy.
Yeah,
And
he is.
yeah, and I told him, I said, I'd like to have him on the podcast one day. And he's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to.
I would love
But
to see him on a podcast.
And he
On
is,
this podcast.
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God, he's the champion.
Hmm.
And I've seen at least two, but
Hmm.
I think someone told me it was the third time he did it. He broke the bottom rope
Twice, you said, right? Twice.
twice that
Three
I
times.
saw,
It's
but
three
yeah,
Three times?
times. It
somebody told me
is.
it was that
Yes.
was actually the third time. I think it was Jake who told me, and I was just like, oh my God, like how?
Yes,
I
he's a
mean,
powerful young man.
he really is. He really is. And last night I was telling Carm that last match was they killed it. They
They
killed it.
did.
They killed it.
They
Both
did.
those guys. I'm drawing a blank because I'm old and senile. Who did he
Yeah.
wrestle?
LeBron Cozone. He's from Greensboro,
Yes.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
I mean, this guy is a big boy,
Yeah, he's a big
and
dude.
he's a
Reminds me of
big
a young
dude.
Booker T with
Yeah,
the long locks.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
and a phenomenal wrestler he was. I mean, and they just tore that ring apart. I mean, they were. It was back and forth, and it was, and at the end, like the crowd just erupted. It was such a great story in the ring that
yeah,
we're always saying on here that you don't really see anymore. They brought it and
they
they
brought it.
did it, and it was phenomenal. It was a
Yeah.
great match.
Wow,
That
that's
really
It was a
was.
great
awesome.
match, and meeting LeBron, he's such a great guy. He's very soft spoken, but he's powerful. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And having him up here was a pleasure, and I hope that when he goes home, he can talk about us and let people know that, hey, we're here in New Jersey. Come on up, and
Yeah.
we'll treat you with respect and class, and you'll have a great match
Yeah.
with our guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah, I had, it was really, I mean, heart pounding the entire match. It
Yeah,
was
a
great.
good
It
back and
was,
forth.
yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
speaking of teaching, I'm sorry, I want to give Denise a chance here to, because Jeannie and I are like jumping on top of this like a hot potato, but
Mhm.
um, I want to give you a chance to tell us exactly what you do and how you got started with Darrin and how this all came to be, because I am extremely impressed with you and with your organization,
And thank
and
you.
you also have a school
Yes, we do. Skid Row
and all that.
Academy. Hmm.
Can you tell us how you got started, please,
Okay.
and what led to today?
All right. So I'll start with my own wrestling career. So I started wrestling in 2007, straight out of high school. And I would wrestle until about 2013. And that's when I met Darrin. We met each other. He was also wrestling. He started wrestling in 1994. And
Wow.
so we became a couple after that. And we would travel together. So in 2016, we had a show with Triple WA out in Gilbertsburg, Pennsylvania. And the show kind of ended a little controversial. And so the next day, after everything was done, we said, why don't we just start our own promotion? Why don't we just go and figure this thing out? Because we are wrestlers. A lot of times when you wrestle for other promotions, the promoter may not be a wrestler. They may
Right.
just be someone who is very passionate about the business and want to bring it back to the communities. But they honestly don't understand how we work and what our makeup is. And so we decided, let's have a company made by us for us. And to get back to the business, at that point, I was 10 years in and he was 20. And so I was like, all right, fine. So in 2018, February, we bought a ring, and we didn't know how to put it together. We didn't know what to do. It was just me, him, and Melissa, who's our other partner.
Hmm.
And we had no idea what we were doing. We just know we're going to do it. So May 1st, we decided that we're going to run a wrestling show. And we did it out of Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Um, but then it took a year after that to figure it all out, get
Okay.
everything with the commission, um, compile the wrestlers, do all the storylines. And at first, we were like, we're just gonna have almost like AEW. We're just gonna have wrestling matches, great wrestling matches. Cinco de Mayo comes around, and that was our first show. And our main event was Black G's, um, and you'll know him from NWA. And he came in, and they never seen him before up there. They never seen anybody like him. He's,
Okay.
the city slicker being from North Philadelphia. And his opponent was Jonathan Gresham. And if you don't know him, he's an amazing wrestler, also from Georgia. And so he's married to Jordan Grace, the former
Oh,
TNA
okay.
knockout champion.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
wrestled her a few times before she became this
Wow.
juggernaut of a woman that she is. And at first, our first show was 21 people, but out of 21 people, it was 10 comps. They were family and friends. So we were like dismal a little bit. We were sad, but we knew that we had something great. We just had to keep pushing. And so we went from Pottstown to Philadelphia. The place we were running in Pottstown, they had some type of emergency and they couldn't run the show. So we went to Philadelphia and we ran out of Holmesburg Rec Center in Holmesburg section of Philly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we stayed there for a year. And then they had something go wrong with the building.
Oh
So
my
after
God.
that, we went to a building called Toll Man Joe's. They're no longer in business, but they were in South Philadelphia, which is close to my heart because that's where I am. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
We had an amazing show. We had 300 people show up. And so we started gaining traction. That was
Wow.
January 2020. March 2nd, 2020 was when the world shut down. And I know that date because of being at work. I'm a cop. So
Oh
I'm
my
at work
God.
and the world shuts down. So we decided that we were going to leave Pennsylvania and go to New Jersey. We always wanted to run in New Jersey. We just didn't have a chance to. But at this point, we've moved to New Jersey.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, well, all right, well, let's do it. Through COVID, we waited until, I want to say it was August 2020 to run our first show. And again, we had to start all over again. We had to start over again 3 times at this point during this whole journey of Superkrazee.
Right.
And that's when we opened up Skid Row Academy. We had a lot of guys coming in that didn't have a home anymore because the world shut down, and a lot of wrestling companies unfortunately went under, and a lot of wrestling schools shut down. And we had the space. We had a big warehouse. Jeannie's been there. It was a big warehouse where we can socially distance, do what we have to do, keep everyone protected, and still follow the guidelines of what was going on with COVID.
Right.
And we started running shows. We had a socially distancing areas where people would sit 6 at a time. Had a lot of great wrestlers come in, and that's when we met Tony Leanda. He had just came away from Texas. He was in the military. He's still in the military. Shout out to Tony. We miss you. Hope to see you
Yes,
soon.
love him.
I love him. He's amazing. He's the one that really helped us with Skid Row Academy because he was the first traveling student. Rob Prefontaine was our trainer, who unfortunately passed away this past year. Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, he passed away. So I just wanted to make sure I mention him because he's a big, big part of Skid Row Academy. He was our first trainer, and he was Devious Cass's trainer from years prior to that. He was training Devious since he was 12 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, so shout out to Rob. Rest in peace. He was a great man, great, great man. He had a lot going for him, and we took on a lot of what people call strays. We took all those guys in and made them our family, and they're still with us to this day. None of them left, um,
Wow.
except Tony, because he became a big star in Puerto Rico. But so we just kept going, and then our time in Deptford ended, and then we came to Gloucester City 2 years ago, and again we got to start over again,
Oh my
and built
God.
this great fan base. In Gloucester, it's a small knit, hardworking blue collar town. They never had anything like us in the town before. You would see it in Woodbury, you would see it in Westville, you would see it in Glassboro with Monster Factory, but they never had it in town. And so for this past 2 years, we've been trying to build a fan base that I think last night has shown we've built it.
Yeah.
And now people
Oh
are
God.
knowing
Yeah.
about it in the town, and we have classes Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at the same building because it's another bay in the back of the building that the guys train in. And now we just have this incredible product, incredible men and women working behind the scenes to keep this thing going. And it's really a family oriented business because we all became family in these last 7 years. So
And it shows.
May,
It does.
it
Yeah.
yeah, it shows. You can see it. May 2025 will be our 7th anniversary show. And
Wow.
it's been a up and down triumphant uh very mind blowing experience. But it's from two wrestlers who wanted to give back to the business that gave us so much. And so that's the
That's
story of Superkrazee.
that's amazing. Now, who came up with the name Superkrazee? What does that mean? Does it mean anything specific? I know what Superkrazee is, but I'm just saying.
Darrin, his father called him Superkrazee one day
Oh.
because he is.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it comes from his heart. And if you look at his arms, um, he had this tattoo, I think, since 1998. And if he put his two forearms together, it reads Superkrazee. And then
Oh.
one of his favorite wrestlers is Superkrazee from Mexico. And so it's one of those things where he saw it, and it just, and Skid Row came from the Rocky movie. That's his favorite movie. And so he's a movie buff. The one
Okay.
thing that people don't know about Darrin is he loves movies, and he will break the movie down piece by piece and find something new in it every time he watches it. And so a lot of these things in the company comes from his childhood. It comes from him just, he has a great imagination, has a great mind for this business, but for entertainment in a very unorthodox way. And you wouldn't think that because he's such a big man and he's such a personality, but inside he's very quiet, believe it or
Like a
not.
little boy. Yeah.
Yeah. And all these things he thinks in his mind, and he'll just blurt it out, and then he makes it come true. And so that's where Super
Oh,
Crazy came from. It came from his
that is
childhood.
awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. You know, I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm thinking to myself, wow. Not only is this awesome, okay, but and I'm going to say this, and please don't take this the wrong way because I do not mean it in any other way except incredibly beautiful. It's about time that I see a woman, okay, actually
Yes.
doing this stuff and being on our show and saying, yeah, you know, I'm part of this because I'm so tired of nothing against Darrin, but I'm so tired of seeing the men do this, men do this, men do this.
Hmm.
I think that it speaks volumes for you, okay, that
Thank
you're
you.
a woman, not only in the business, but a wrestler and
Hmm.
a promoter and a trainer. Oh my God. It's like amazing that, you know, I'm serious because
Thank
I
you.
am not, I'm not an easy sell. Jeannie can tell you that. Okay. I'm not an
Hmm.
easy sell. You know, I have been like, well, yeah, right. You know, well, we'll go. Yeah. But when I went, I got to be honest. I'm, like I said, it's not easy to impress me. But when I
Hmm.
went, and I was so beside myself. It was unbelievable. And also,
Thank
a
you.
very big important thing for me is respect. And it seems
Hmm.
like you guys have a ton of it for
Yes.
each other, for the fans,
Hmm.
for people in general. I mean, I pray, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to have you guys on the show as many times as I can until you're ready to
Yes,
throw
please.
up. Okay,
That's fine. That's
and that you
fine.
hate me and that you hate us
No, I
both.
don't hate you.
No, we want to try and help promote you as much as possible.
Thank
You
you.
know, we're relatively new. I'm not going to lie to you. You
Mhm.
are our 45th episode, I believe.
That's
No,
almost a
44th. I'm
milestone. I
sorry.
like it. Okay.
Well, you know what? You're part of it. You're part of this milestone, and we're excited. Now, Jeannie said that the young men from Primal Fear are going to
Hmm.
be on our show next week.
Yes,
Okay.
they are
Uh,
amazing. They're our trainers now.
wow, I can't wait. I
Hmm.
really can't wait. And as we go along, okay, I would like to maybe, if it's all right with you, you know,
Hmm.
get some vital information from you and
Hmm.
air it, you know, and let the people know because I'm sure there's a lot of young people who want to become wrestlers and have
Yes.
nowhere to go, you know,
Yeah.
and you know maybe they can come out and see the show. They can come out and talk to you and Darrin and see what they can do with their future. And you know, you mentioned Jordan Grace. Um,
Hmm.
she, if I'm not mistaken, is doing very well for herself.
She is. She
You
is.
know,
She's an
she's on
amazing young woman.
NXT. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
and she's good. And you know, I think it's got to do your heart good to know that you know she passed by you on her
Yeah.
way
I was a
and you
part of
had
her
something
journey.
to do with that exactly, and
Yeah.
that's got to be great, you know. But
Yeah.
I think that's what we want to do, right, Jeannie?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna promote the hell out of you, and we're gonna push
Thank you
and
so
push and
much.
push. No, I'm serious because you deserve it. You do. You deserve it. Not only do you deserve it because your organization rocks, you deserve it because you have respect. You deserve it because you put on a good product. You deserve it because you're a woman, and you deserve it because I say so.
That's right.
Okay,
Thank you.
so that's pretty much where that goes. Okay,
Thank
but
you.
no, thank you, thank you. Like I said, I was extremely impressed, and I want to set up a couple extra dates with you,
Of
um,
course.
with regard to having the individual people on periodically, like as we go along. Like next week, we're going to have Primal Fear. Then after that, maybe a few more people, and then you
Yeah.
know have but another set up something else with that with Darrin and you together. I
Yeah, that'd be
really want
great.
to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think it would be awesome. When give us some information about your next show. We just lost her. Can you hear us
Oh,
still, Denise?
I'm
Oh, there
there
sorry.
you
she
go.
is.
Okay.
My ring
What
camera
when
went off and I was trying to turn it off.
when is your next show and what can you tell us about it?
Okay, our next show is February 7th. We're still trying to come up with a name. I'm sorry. Because we weren't sure what we are gonna do in February because it is Super Bowl weekend, but we're gonna go through it. So our next show is February 7th. Doors open at 6:30. The match starts at 7. Um, I'm gonna go back to talk about Skid Row Academy.
Okay.
Samuel Falsey, which he was our heavyweight champion. He was our first student. I'm gonna go back to Holmesburg.
Okay.
He started out with us there when we didn't have a show, have a show or a school. He hung around with us. He was very young. He was 17 at the time, and he wanted to be a professional wrestler and a rapper. He won't admit this now, but he wanted to be a rapper at the time,
Aw.
and he knew what he wanted to do. He just didn't know how to do it, and so he became a great student, a great son to us. And I would love for you to interview him because he can tell you
Absolutely.
also the journey that he took with us going through staying in Philadelphia and then going to Deptford and going to Gloucester City, turning into this young man that he is today and this incredible performer that he is today. And so if you can interview him,
Absolutely.
that would
He
be
is
Absolutely.
amazing.
amazing. The president. I love him. I
Yeah, the
love him. I
president.
love
He's
him.
so
Yeah.
passionate and he grew up with us. He wasn't this boisterous before. He was so
Get
shy.
out.
This man that
Wow.
he's become, no, he was not. He just knew he
Aw.
knows how to rap a little bit, and he knew he wanted to be called Semi Falsey, but that was it. His favorite wrestler is Dean Malenko. So if you look at his
Wow.
outfit and look at how he wrestles, he emulates him just a little bit.
Yeah.
Him and
Yeah.
Jonathan
I can
Gresham,
see that. Yeah.
you can see it.
Yeah.
And
Dean
so
Malenko
shout out to
wrestled for me a
Samael.
few times. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
really
so
good guy. Yeah.
he is, and he's really passionate, and he's learned so much in such a short amount of time. And he's our ace. He is our president. So,
Yeah.
shout out to him. And we wouldn't be where we are without him. He's our other
Wow.
piece to this puzzle, along with
Okay.
Tim Dynamite. He's a great guy as well.
Oh, I
He came from
loved
another
him.
school. He came from another school. He has a very storied journey. I'll let him tell his own journey. But he came to us when we were in Deptford. Again, very shy, but he very much believed in himself. So um passionate about this business, and he's very confident in who he is as a performer and as a young man. And so those two young men are the reason that we're so successful. And so if
That's
you guys
awesome.
can interview them either together or
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
separately, that'd be
Absolutely.
amazing. And they can give you their
Absolutely.
own journey with us and in their own wrestling career. And
Well,
so
what
Yeah.
that'll
I'd
be a
No.
like to
big part.
well, what I'd like to do, like I said, after, I mean, we're clearly nowhere near done, but I mean, after today, Jeannie and I, either next time you have your show, because I'd like to be there, or via video, just the three of us, we sit down and put a schedule together.
Yes.
Right now we are booked up until probably the end of February, but I'm going to
Okay.
start working on, and I want to put in maybe like maybe 2 times a month, I would like to
Mhm.
put in your company and
Okay.
you and your boys and your girls, and you do have lady wrestlers too, right? I didn't see any
Yes,
that night.
we do. It's hard to book them because they're so busy. It's so hard, but we will be visiting that again. It's just we
Okay.
may have to wait until after the anniversary show because the women we want to wrestle with, they're busy. They're amazing and they're on the road. So we
Yeah.
want to definitely get that back. And we have a
Yeah.
female student. Her name is Chanel. Uh, Me and her started a feud, and then she had a beautiful baby. And so now she's a
Oh.
mommy now, and so Chanel's back in the gym and she's
Oh,
working out
cool.
and she's getting back in there. So hopefully, me and her mix it up. And our
Okay.
second
Good.
female, yeah, our
That'd
second
be a great
female,
interview.
that'd be a great interview. It would, and a
Yeah.
and a great fight because we were like right there. Storyline was working, and then she found out she was pregnant. And I'm like, well,
Oh.
go be a mommy. It's more important. And
Oh. Well,
so she
that's
has a beautiful
okay.
son. Yeah, she has a beautiful son, and he's just adorable. He just turned 1, and now she's back. So we have a
Well, tell her to
second.
bring him. Jeannie and I can babysit while she wrestles.
Yes,
Okay.
and
We'll
she
sit
does all the
watch him.
time. She just happened not to bring him last night, but she has him all the time.
Great.
Our second female student, her name is Jade, and so right now she's in her mysterious mode. So you've probably seen her, but you don't know it's her. And
Oh,
that's the
okay.
great part about this. She's very artistic. She speaks
Cool.
3 languages, and
Wow.
she's going
Wow.
to debut soon. So
Oh, I look forward to that.
yes.
Awesome.
So her
Well,
name
I'll
is
tell you
Jade.
what, we have to definitely, I mean, Jeannie, God bless her, she lives like 5 minutes away. I live up near Trenton, so it's
Okay.
harder for me to get down there, but I'll be there. As
Yes,
long as there's
great.
no snow, I'll be there. It's not a
Right. I know
problem. The
this season is
weather's
tough.
been crazy. I know. I hate
Yeah.
it. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about. I can't stop talking about my Mr. Devious. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about him. I would definitely like to have him on the show. He seems like he's very shy.
He is
Uh,
shy until the
yeah.
lights come on. And then when
Hmm.
he's ready to go, he's ready to go. I met him when he was 13. He was wrestling and training, well, not wrestling, but training with Keystone Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
Clint Horton, shout out to him. He's actually going to be throwing a show soon in Westchester, Pennsylvania. If I have some more information, when I get it and we talk again, I'll definitely help promote the show.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
Great guy. He wrestled in ECW early on, but he broke his leg and his career ended very quickly. But again, he's another wrestler who loves the business and want to give back. So giving back, part of that giving back was Devious Cast. He had a dream, and he was 12 years old, and
Wow.
they took him on. Rob took him on and groomed him from the time he was 12 to the time he was 16. His first match was with Rob when he was 16 years old in Deptford, and he's old enough now. Obviously, he's 18, but
Yeah.
um, he he started out real young, little small little boy, and when he first had his first match, he didn't understand what was happening. Like his whole world changed.
Yeah.
From that moment on, he became this beast, and eventually, every show he would change something about himself, whether it be the colors he wore or the outfit that he would have on or his hair, or he would say something, he would add a move
Oh.
here, there. And then one day he came and his hair was locked and it was blonde. I said, well, who is this? Where did Devious Cast go? Because this is not the little boy I remember. He's a man now. He's a
Oh.
grown man now.
He
And
is.
this last year, I have seen him academically playing football and wrestling, trying to figure out who he is, trying to figure out what college he's going to go to because he's going to college this year. And
Oh.
every month, something changes about him, but it's the same person. That makes sense. He metaphor. He I can't say the word, but he just changes into this.
It's
I
a
call him a lion.
metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
Yep.
He's like a lion. Like his mane is starting to get bigger. His confidence is
Oh.
there. It's there. He knows
Oh.
exactly who he is. And then when the lights go out and then we back to reality, he's back to being a very mild mannered young man who just wants to play football and go to school and get good grades. But
God
those lights
bless
come
Wow.
him.
on, he's a
God
beast.
bless
And the
him.
fans there go crazy for him. Oh
And he
my
earned
God.
it.
He
He
did. He
absolutely
did.
earned it. And
Absolutely.
so,
They are crazy for him. Absolutely. And
yeah.
a lot of the guys um also have merch tables, you
Hmm.
know, and there so you can get their t-shirts and their
And then
wristbands
pins and all
and
that stuff.
their
Yeah. The stickers.
pictures. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, you there's never ever a time where you go and there's not at least 5, 10 people with Devious Cash
Hmm.
t-shirts or Tim
Hmm.
Dynamite t-shirts or Primal Fear t-shirts or
Yes.
you know
Primal Fears are our
whoever.
biggest
Homeless Vaughn
fan
needs a
favorite.
table. Homeless Vaughn needs
I
some
was just
merch.
going to
He
ask about him.
does. He needs to make money.
I was
Yeah,
going to ask
right?
about him. Tell me
Yes.
about him, please.
Another
How did
sweet
that come up?
soul.
Yes.
So, I'll let when you interview him because I want him to come on here too. He's so shy. I want you to
Absolutely.
break him out his shell there.
Okay.
It was by accident. That whole thing was by accident.
How? How did
I'll
that
leave it
happen?
there. It was. I don't want to
Okay.
say too much of how he created that. It was a mixture of two people. The It was a person, Sean Donovan. He's from North Jersey. He wrestled for us a few times. He's appeared on the AEW Dynamite a few times. Something happened, and he looked at him and said, you're a beast. You know you have so much talent." And I'm cutting out a part of what he said, but he took that part, and it has something to do with his hair. I'll say that, and he created this character out of it. That day, he created a character, and then the next show, he showed up, tattered clothes, a shopping cart, not that shopping cart, and a sign and a broom
Oh my God.
and a broom. And he
That's
said, "This is who
funny.
I am." And he at first he had no music. He would just come out, or he would hide in a tent, and they would call his name, and then he would come crawling out of somewhere. And
Mhm.
what the hell? Because he's homeless.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
exactly.
homeless.
Well, I got to
So
tell you, no disrespect, but I got to touch his boob. That was pretty
everybody
cool.
wants to touch his boob,
Yeah,
except
that was
me,
pretty cool.
because he's like
Jeannie
my
did
son.
that. She took my hand and she just put it right on.
Well,
I'm like,
that's
oh,
because Darrin did it to me.
So hey,
Show
you're
or two
passing all
before,
along.
and he just grabbed Darrin just grabbed my hand and said, "Here, feel this." And he's like, puts my hand. I was just like, and it kind of shocked me because I'm
Yeah,
just like, oh, hello.
yeah. Ah! I'm
yeah.
like, oh
Talk
gosh,
How
about
he
talk
you
was
about
sweet to
doing?
Rocky,
me.
right?
So
Talk about
How
Rocky.
Yeah, how
yeah,
you doing? So I had to do it to you, but it did embarrass him.
and he's
Poor
because
I'm
guy.
he's so
sorry.
bashful. Oh my god,
But
he's so
oh my god,
bashful.
he is so sweet. The first time I saw him wrestle it was when you guys were at the West Effort place.
Hmm.
And I remember he came out and I was like, huh?
You didn't get
Like
it at first,
I
right?
don't know. Cool, well, let's see where this goes, but I'm not really, know if I'm on
Sure.
board with this. By the end of the match, I was like, I am in love. Like
Yes,
this guy he is so good. He is
Yeah,
so
he
good.
is.
Oh
he
my
works
god,
so
the way
hard.
he flips his body around, it's like he's got
Mhm.
no bones. It's
Right.
just phenomenal,
Yeah.
phenomenal,
He was
and
really
was
good.
in love like ever since. He's just absolutely, you know,
Yeah.
he's
He's
wonderful. He's
amazing.
wonderful.
He's so shy.
I know.
So
Now,
yeah,
I want
you
to ask
know.
you another question. Years and years and years and years and years ago, I knew Steve Carino. Okay,
Yes.
and his little boy was about epic. Okay,
Yeah.
now he wrestles. Can you tell us about
Yes.
him?
He came to us again as a mistake. We met him on a whim at the H2O building.
Okay,
And his father used to wrestle Darren on Independence. And so Darren also knew him since a child.
uh-huh.
And he was so sweet. And he was just like, hey, he's just hanging out, giving out advice. And we saw him wrestle. And at the time, Black G's was going to NWA. And at the time, he was a champion there. And so we like, well, hey, before you go to NWA, let's have this match. So we had a show called Face Off. That was one of the last shows we had in Holmesburg. And I wish I had the flyer. Their faces are side by side. We were inspired by the movie Face Off with John Travolta and Al Pacino.
Okay,
And so we based that story onto them. And at the time, he was a little bit smaller, and he was coming out of his rehab, and he was getting back into being the great talent that he was at the time. But he was unsure because he was, getting back from injury and everything and all, and having a son himself. He had stopped
right.
wrestling for a little bit, and he had that match with Black G's, and that match was amazing, and that should be on our YouTube channel.
Okay,
They went 45 minutes, and it was very creative, and it was just a beautiful time. 4 years later, he comes back from NWA, totally different person, same great man, but now he's more confident, he's more powerful, and he has more to give. He actually wrestled Devious Cass and another young man at the H2O building, and they had such a great chemistry that we just was like, he needs to come to Superkrazee and have this match with Devious, and then he did. And so, anytime we call him, we talk to him. He's always giving advice. He's always trying to help the younger guys out and just give them pointers and guidance. And Darren having both the Carinos, uh, it meant a lot to him. And so we almost try to go back and reach back and bring it forward, if that makes
right.
sense.
Yeah, it
And
makes a
so
lot
he
of
did
sense.
that. He did that with Justin, and it's amazing.
Another
So
great
Wow.
one that I've seen many, many times with going is having Mark Angel and
yes,
now his son. You
oh,
know,
Wow.
I can say a lot
they,
about that. I can
yeah,
say a lot about that.
yeah.
We
No,
all
please, yeah,
wrestled
please
together.
do, because yeah, that was
We all
crazy.
wrestled together. We
Yeah,
all were in DWF together. And so I was with Tyreno, who's TJ's son, wrestles for
yeah.
us. He was our former United States champion. Blackie, Eric the Shields, myself, and Ron Starr. We were the
Wow.
Wow.
Empire. And so our favorite foe was Mark Angel.
Hmm.
And so we wrestled him so many times. I used to hold Marcus in my arms. I used to
Oh.
rock him, play with him. And he used to have a book. And it's so sad because someone took the book. He recreated it now though, as an adult. He had a book of all wrestling signatures and pictures.
Wow.
And we all signed it and not realizing that he was studying then. And so he went to H2O school. He stayed there for about a year. And then he became another young man who was shy, really wasn't sure. And then when the lights came on, he came into this beast. And so now
Hmm.
he's WWID'd. And when he comes to Superkrazee, he hugs me like I'm his auntie. It's
Hmm.
great to know and brag that I knew him before everyone else did.
Isn't that
Right.
a
Because
great feeling? Isn't that
it's a
awesome?
great feeling, yeah, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
seen the rise of this young man. He used to love to watch Mark, especially when Mark was doing TNA things back in the day. And he would put the ring up, put the ring down, put the chairs up, help the wrestlers with their gear. He was, assisting at the ring. And now he's doing way more than what me and his father would ever thought that we could have done. So it's great to watch him and TJ
Yeah.
um, excel and thrive.
See, you
Yeah.
know that somebody is really determined when they're willing to do that. Put the
Hmm.
ring up, take the ring down, put the chairs up, take the chairs, carry the gear,
Yeah,
just to be in that building, just to be in that atmosphere,
yeah,
just to be there. They'll do anything, and those are the people that wind up really and truly giving it back into this business because they do it with their heart. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's so
It's
funny
amazing.
because today, and I say this all the time, and like with today's big companies like WWE, even AEW, um, it's like so much is handed to them now, and so much. Like they had a big thing with NXT because Roman Reigns messed up a move.
Hmm.
All right, we believe it. We don't do kayfabe. Okay, we believe that there's no kayfabe in this particular program. But when you're doing wrestling, okay, people still look at that and they're still like, don't make it public that Roman Reigns messed up a move, so
Yeah,
they had to switch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree, that that's something that should have been said. But so many things are handed to these people. And it's funny because we started out our show with older wrestlers
hmm,
telling us what it was like when they forged for themselves and they didn't have all this stuff that these a lot of young people have today. And I
no,
think that no, and I think that's a good idea that you are doing the same thing where these young people have to kind of make their own way somehow.
hmm,
You know what I mean? Yeah, you help
yeah,
them, but you don't hand them everything.
yeah. And
And they need to learn that they need to earn it.
they do. And when I came in, I couldn't get in the ring for 6 months. I learned my bumps on the floor.
Okay.
I had to
See?
do 500 Hindu squats with an Olympic bar on my neck. Mind
Oh
you, I'm
my God.
18 and I'm 105 pounds at the time. Yeah, I learned clotheslines on a boxing bag, the one that hangs down. I had a
Yeah, yeah,
clothesline
yeah.
that. So
Oh
now
my
when you see me
God.
clothesline, I'm taking your
That
head off
hurts. It
because
hurts. Yeah.
it hurt me, so I'm hurting you. No, I'm joking. So no, but no, it's I learned how to punch on a wall. I had to run around the gym before I ran the ropes, and I did all that stuff, and then I got in the ring. That's how it used to
Wow.
be. If you couldn't complete those 500, and it wasn't in intervals, you had to finish. Even if they took the whole glass, you had to finish
Wow.
before you even looked at the ring. You couldn't even look at the ring. You had to turn around. You had
That's
to turn around.
crazy.
And
Now
then
it's funny
after that,
because
you
to,
run the ropes and you break your ribs because now you don't know what tightness this ring is. Everyone thinks it's easy. It's not. The first thing you
it's
do is break your
not.
ribs. It's everyone's
Yeah.
first injury because of the ropes.
Yeah, they're so hard.
So
And they
yeah,
don't give you that bounce that you think you get.
mm-mm.
They're
That comes in
harder than
time.
yeah, it does. And you don't know how to hit them and how to.
Hmm.
It's not how it works. And like I said today, these wrestlers today, all they have to know how to do is acrobats.
Or
And once you
talk.
learn, and pardon me,
Or talk.
yeah,
If you know
and,
how to
and
talk,
It's ridiculous. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
promo and that's all. But these guys today and these girls today are wonderful. God bless them. But they don't know. Again, they don't know what it's like to have to scratch to get your way up. They don't know what it's
Mhm.
like you said, to hit walls. They don't know what it's like to have to do it that way. And I think that people who have to learn this way become much more respectful and they
Mhm.
become much more learned and they are more grateful for the opportunities that they get. And
Yeah.
I think that that's wonderful. I think that's amazing. Now, let me ask you about your school.
Mhm.
Can anybody come to your school to train? I mean, do you have a
Yes.
protocol?
We have all skill levels, and Saturdays are for specifically for beginners. Monday is a more of advanced class, and then Thursday, they go through intermediate class, and then they also have a promo class, and they also look at tape, and they'll run
Okay.
back. Like this Monday, they'll go back and watch the show instead of working out, so that they can see what they did and what they can improve on, and then Thursday they'll start working on those things. Faye
Okay.
Jackson, she's a professional wrestler and a manager with MLW. She does their promo classes. So that's why they can talk so well. Um, so she runs and helps them with their character development, help them, learn how to talk and cut a promo. And then the Primal Fear guys, they'll run them through drills and then bring it all together. And then they'll have mock matches where they practice how to go through and break down exactly how a match is constructed, how it's ran through, and then how to conclude it. But by the end of the week, they put all those things together. It's like a curriculum almost, and they
Okay.
they they do a really good job with that.
Is your school where the wrestling is? Is it all in the same place?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
it's all
it's
in
in
the
a
same
separate
building.
room. It's all in the
Okay,
same
separate
building.
room.
So one stop
Okay,
shop.
great.
Mhm.
Okay, so now if they want to email us with regard to wanting, showing an interest in your school, they can
Mhm.
email us at 316carmela@gmail.com and we
Yes,
will forward the information over to you guys.
yes,
I
please
think
definitely
that's
do that.
really cool. I was going to ask you, and I know I've been asking Jeannie a while off and on that, if one day we could actually come to your school, like
Sure.
maybe on a
Yes.
Saturday or something and check it out
Mhm.
and take some pictures or whatever. Like I said, I'm making this a mission right now because I think you guys deserve it. I really do.
Thank you.
I'm going to be honest with you, Denise. I don't
Mhm.
know 100% how much we can do to help you. I don't know. I really don't
Mhm.
because we're relatively new ourselves, but I want to try, and I
This what
want
you're
to.
doing right now is great.
Well, we're
This is
going to keep
amazing.
doing
We
it.
really appreciate it.
No, we're going to keep doing it. Go ahead,
And the
Jeannie.
one thing I also wanted to bring up, and you can shut me down if you want,
No, it's fine.
um, but the building that you're in, the Pine Grove, sorry, brain
Civic
fart,
Association.
Civic
Yes.
Association. Thank you.
Yes.
You guys basically run that building.
Yes.
So I know because I follow your the Pine Grove Civic Association
Mhm.
on social media. Like you guys do like bingo on
Yes.
Tuesdays and all kinds of things, and
Oh,
it can be rented
cool.
out for
Yes.
birthday
For parties
parties
and
and
anniversaries. We've had weddings
right.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're a one stop
Wow.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah. They
got that
have
right.
yeah. It really is. It's a good building. It really is. It's big and it's when you have a little kitchen and
Yes. Hmm.
best chicken fingers.
Thank
Um,
you. We are known for the chicken fingers.
I'm
yes,
going to have to
yes,
try them. I'm going to have to try them next
Yes,
time.
yes.
please try them.
Yeah.
Try.
Very
Yes.
good. As soon as
But now let
Darrin
me
gets
ask
that
you a
new
question.
fryer.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Are all of your matches at the same building?
Yes.
Okay. And you have them pretty much once a month?
Once a month. Sometimes we're trying for twice a month this year. In the
Okay.
beginning, we were doing Friday fully charged, and then we do a Saturday show. But the neighborhood we live in, again, is very family oriented. A lot of children. They play sports. They have
Right.
families go away for vacations and things like that.
Right.
So we want to be mindful of the neighborhood we're in and the city that we're in. And so we do it on Friday nights. One, because there's nothing really to do in town on Friday nights, and two, it gives a chance for the kids to get out of school and have something for them and
Right.
just to
Right.
relax and have fun. So
That's really cool. Like I'm just like sitting here listening to you and I'm getting like like so impressed. I really am impressed, and I'm
Thank you.
excited. You're like a really good person. You're a good lady.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that, no, I'm serious. I think that that's great that you're doing all this for the community. And I gotta stick this in there. Those prices for the tickets are not bad at
No,
all.
no, we
Okay.
do that for the community as well because everyone doesn't have it. So if
Exactly.
you're coming in and you can get a good meal and a ticket for a show for under $15.
That's crazy. That is
Yeah.
really crazy. And the thing is like when the wrestlers do come out at the end, they're so nice.
Yeah.
They're so nice. And you don't have to pay $250 to see a wrestler. Isn't that
No,
amazing? I
it's
mean, that's
amazing.
wonderful. I
Yeah.
love that. And maybe one day, maybe let's put a big maybe on this one, but maybe one day we can actually do a podcast from there.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
that
down
would
for
be
I
that.
quite
would love
cool.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
I
would
would
love that
love
like that
too.
that.
too. I'd like that too. I think I want to get to a point where we get a little more familiar with everybody. I'll definitely be coming to more shows, but I
Yeah.
want to get up to a point where we, at some point, work it out where we interview everybody,
Hmm.
from beginning to end, and then start over again. I have no problem with that at all. And
I have a date in mind, so let's talk about that off.
off air, okay.
Yeah, because I have an idea. Something just popped in my head. So
Uh
yeah,
oh.
I have an
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
and
That
I love
works.
the one thing I also love is Denise will bring in veterans. Like last night we had King Kalua. Mike
Hmm.
Kalua is a good friend of ours.
That is.
He's there. Mr. Ooh La La, who
Yeah,
I
we
love and
love him.
adore,
Yes.
comes in, every once in a while. I think 2 months ago, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, we had you guys brought in Kakawa for a
Yes.
seminar and a show, who I
Yeah,
just
adore.
love and
Another
adore
guy
him.
we wrestled as kids, and then he went to
Yeah.
Florida, and he has his own wrestling promotion now.
Yes.
So
Wow.
Yes.
yeah, and his own
We
Married
schools.
might be
two
able to
So
help.
kids.
good.
We might
Yeah.
be able to help you out in that area too, because we have a lot. I mean, a lot of older wrestlers that
Hmm.
probably would be more than willing to come out and do a seminar or talk to
That'd be great.
the guys. And yeah, I mean, because I'm trying to get Davey O'Hannon back on. He's a
Hmm.
very, very, very well known WWF wrestler.
Right.
Um, I just talked to Manny Fernandez, and I always keep bringing his name up because I absolutely love this man.
Yes.
He's going to be doing
That'd be
another show
amazing
for
to
us.
talk to him. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
what
and
I go ahead.
sorry. No, go
No.
ahead.
No,
No,
no, you go ahead.
it just popped into my head. I don't know if Darrin knows this, but you might want to let him know that, because you said that uh the wrestler Superkrazee was one of his favorites.
Yes.
He's going to be at the May 3rd show,
Right, one and
One and
done.
Done. Him and
Oh,
Hannibal.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I
going to
will
go
let him
against each
know.
other. Yeah, him and Hannibal. And
I'll let him know.
yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. And I think that it's a really good idea to like promote this stuff. And even if like, you know, Manny Fernandez was telling us on a podcast that he was on, how much he loved having his own mentors,
Hmm.
and how he only wanted to give praise to people who helped him. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to talk to him and say, how would you like to be one of those mentors for some of
Yeah,
these kids? Because he's going
that'd
to
be
be here
great.
May 3rd too. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Well,
mean,
nice.
if nothing else, he can at least come on the podcast, and
That'd be
talk to these
amazing.
young men and women. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I'm so excited
I'm
now.
excited too.
Oh
Me
my
too.
God. So we're going to do a lot of stuff with you guys. I'm really happy.
Yes,
And
let's
Jeannie,
do it.
it's all Jeannie. Oh, it's all Jeannie. If it wasn't
Thank
for
you, Jeannie.
her,
Oh, my pleasure. Like I said, if I go to a lot of I used to go to a lot of independent shows, only because a lot of them it's just better than when I'm seeing the crap on TV, to
Right.
be quite frank. Um, and it, there's some promotions, I won't name names, but where
Hmm.
you go and you're just like, oh God, this was like not good.
Yeah.
Um, just
Um.
throughout the whole thing. But then you find some that are, they're good, like ECWA. I used to go
Yeah.
to all the time.
All the time.
Now
They
they're a
were
little
great.
too far for me to go, to travel. But
yeah.
and there's just a lot of really good indie promotions around that are, the workers just work their asses off.
They do.
And the promotions put on a good show.
They do.
And you leave entertained.
They do. And I like to, now I'm gonna have to go because I have another show.
Okay.
Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Adrian Soriano. He's 1/3 of the Primal Fear quartet here, and trio rather, and he's our trainer now, and he has transformed what our school is and what the business is. And so I wanted to say thank you. He's made a lot of personal sacrifices for us, and again, we wouldn't be where we are without him either. So thank you. I love you.
Adrian, yes.
He's amazing.
He's the best.
So,
he is good.
Yes.
Yeah. All three of them, Matt, Gabe, and Adrian,
And
they
Gabe
are
is so awesome. Oh my God. So is Matt. He's so sweet.
Yes.
And so we really lucked out with those guys.
I do have to say, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I saw them, they were at an ECWA show, and they had the masks and the scary, which I love me a bad boy. So I was like, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, they sold me too, and I was like, oh my God! And I saw their work ethic during a training session that they had with Rob, and I was like, oh my God! And then they joined our family and been with us for the last 3 years.
They are amazing. They really
are.
So
they're great.
Well, look, we know you have to go. I just want to let you know we're going to take you off the air. I want to thank you so much for everything, but I want you to know that when you leave, we're going to talk about you. Okay?
Okay.
So
No problem.
I just want you to know.
Thank you for having me
but
on.
we'll talk to you about next week too, because we're going to have Primal Fear on. So it'll be next Saturday as well. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Denise. We
thank
can't
you
thank
so
you
much
enough.
for having me on your help. Thank you guys. I love you guys.
Love you. Take care.
A heart, even though I keep another heart up.
There you go. We got it.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Talk
Say
to
hi
you
to
later.
Darrin. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.
Isn't she the best?
Unbelievable.
Did I lie?
She is. No, you did not lie, Jeannie. You never lie. You never lie. But she's great.
Lie.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I want to do this. I want to promote the hell out of them. I do. I think they deserve it. I think they work really hard. Yeah. They work hard, and they have a good product.
Yes.
And I think that it would be a good idea if we just did it like a couple times a month, even having different people on and, just talking about it. And you know what? Like I said,
I'm just going to throw this out there. If we have to do 2 shows in 1 week, not a big deal.
Absolutely. I don't have a problem with that at all. Nope, not at all. You're absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you something. When we started this show, the first thing I said was, we're not in competition with anybody.
Right.
We're not, going out of our way to beat anybody, to draw in numbers. We're not going to do that. We're in this to help people. We're in it to have fun. We're in it to do something that we love. And that's what we're going to do. And if we can help this company, this Superkrazee company, move forward, even 1 step, I'm not saying 20 steps, I'm saying 1. That's what we're going to do. And anybody who's listening to this podcast, please keep in touch, because we are going to have a lot of them on. And maybe, you never know, maybe we can help them put on a show closer to Philly, and see how that goes. And my mind is already going, a mile a minute now.
Well, they're pretty close to Philly. We're only about I'm 5 minutes from them, Gloucester City.
Right.
And they're just 1 town over. It takes me literally 6 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
And then going over the Walt Whitman Bridge is only about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
So, and
it's not far from Philly.
Yeah, going from my house, from my house to your house, I could probably, the way I drive, I could probably make it there in a half an hour or less. So that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But we're going to do this. And the next show is February 7th, you said?
7th. Yeah.
7th. And we're going to go. And anybody who wants to go, like I said, those ticket prices, you can get a meal and a show for under $15. Come on. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
family. It's family friendly. I mean, there's some cursing and there's some, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's, there's, so many, kids there from the neighborhood, and they're all there, and they're there all the time. And, they know these wrestlers, and they know who they cheer for and who to boo at and yell at in the ring. And, and the guys will give it right back to them, and, and make them part of the show. And it's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. And then at intermission and at the end of the night if you want,
The wrestlers
merchandise,
come out.
pictures.
Yeah, and they come out and talk to you like you're real
Yeah.
people. They
Yeah.
come out and you don't have to pay millions of dollars to see them or talk to them. And
Yeah.
you don't have guards around them all over the place. They're really nice people. And to quote my buddy Will Ospreay, let's effing do this, lad. Let's do it. Let's help these people. Let's do what
Yes.
we can to help this company, because you know what? They came up from below the rafters and they deserve this.
They
Let's
really
do
do.
it and let's help them out. Jeannie, I'm going to be on the phone with you a lot in the next millions of weeks. So we're going to do this and keep going. Denise and Darrin, thank you again. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you to Primal Fear. Thank you to Devious Cass. Thank you to Mr. Homeless. Thank you to everybody. I'm going to talk to a lot of the older wrestlers and see what I can, if I can't get them to help out and come on a couple podcasts with these young men and women. And we're going to have a ball. I'm all excited now. I have a new thing going on. This is great. Jeannie, I love you because you brought this up. You brought this to our attention. And, we're doing this because of you. So thank you so much. You're the bomb.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like... If they were just like, there's some promotions out there, they're good and they're, it's okay. And, I'll go and, it's perfectly fine. May not be from top to bottom. The matches are, oh my God, but there's good matches throughout, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But Superkrazee, I mean, they have it for everybody. I mean, I'm not a fan of death matches or that kind of thing. I like hardcore, but not so much death matches. But so they do have like hardcore, and there's just a lot of different types of matches that somebody's going to leave satisfied, and they definitely got their money's worth. And a night out and everything. So it's
oh my
it's
God,
nice
and it's right, and it's family friendly for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really important to know that they incorporate the fans in a lot of what they do, which I think is great. Namely, but I mean they do. They come out and they come in, get in your face and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. And and like I said, when they do come out at the end or an intermission, they're very, very nice. They will talk to anybody. And that to me is prime, because I do not like people that are ignorant, rude, and obnoxious. And where you have to sell your soul to say hello. Like, who the hell are you? Jeannie, I've said that over and over again. Like, I don't know who the hell you think you are. You are not all that in a bag of chips.
Right.
Just because you're making millions and I'm not, doesn't mean you're a better person than I am,
Right.
But I am going to talk to Manny. I'm going to talk to Davey. I'm going to talk to a lot of the older wrestlers and top stars that we've had on our podcast. Talk to Tom Brandy. We're going to talk to Mike Kalu again. We're going to talk and just see if we can't get some of these people involved in helping this promotion grow. I think it's a good idea. You definitely have Rasslin Radio on your side, so we're doing it.
Yeah.
All right, Jeannie. I will be in touch a million times, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Sounds
I love
good.
you.
All right, I love you too.
Love you, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.